Hello, everybody. This is Swati live from Los Angeles, 7 p.m., 18th of August. We have been talking about loving kindness, compassion for last 2, 3 days. Today, what I would like to do is to answer some questions that come up whenever I talk about loving kindness meditations, loving kindness, compassion meditations. Especially when it comes to compassion, people have questions. I have received some on the email, and whenever in the past I have done these workshops, people have asked me some questions. So, based on my experience with what kinds of questions arise, I would like to talk about three different questions and answer them. Some of them may or may not be to your satisfaction because some of these things are somewhat tricky. But I would like you to think about what it means to you. First question that generally comes up is from people who feel a lot, who in fact say that they have too much compassion. They feel so much compassionate that it hurts. Sometimes they can't help, they have to ignore the situation because it's too much for them. So, for that, I have a very good solution. It's not my solution, it's an age old way of dealing with it, which is mindfulness meditations. Loving kindness, compassionate meditations are coupled with typically mindfulness meditations, such as what we have been doing, breath awareness, and body awareness. And why? Because these mindfulness meditations give us appropriate distance from anxiety, stress, or sadness, and these kinds of things. What we learn is to observe our feelings as opposed to get immersed in it. This will pass too, and as a result you create certain amount of non-attachment, certain amount of distance, and you need this distance in order to think through how you want to help. If you get too immersed, too anxious, it's hard to help, it just hurts, and sometimes it becomes too much for the person who is in helping profession. It's called compassion fatigue. So let's say there is an accident and you watch the accident, and if you feel that you yourself are in the accident kind of a feeling, you feel so afraid, so anxious, you will not be able to go and do whatever is necessary to help the people who are involved in the accident. So at that time, you'll have to learn to freeze, so called freeze the stress, freeze the anxiety, and think through what do you want to do. So you are acting out of your heart, but you also are using your logic to know how to help. So compassion, yes, it does hurt too much for some people. So train yourself into mindfulness meditations to balance it out. The second question that often comes up is, yes, I understand that compassion, loving kindness, compassion will create better relationships, especially with people who are close to you or people at work, where you have an ongoing relationship with these people and you want to improve the relationship. Yes, if I am compassionate, if I understand where they're coming from, if I'm nice to them, if I forgive them, all these kinds of things, yes, my relationship with these people will become better. But then how about me? Will I be a doormat? Does that mean I'll be taken advantage of? I feel confused. It's not right. First of all, I want to make it very clear what compassion is. Compassion is a deep awareness of where the other person is coming from, or rather, a deep awareness of their feelings with a wish that it be reduced. It's not condoning. It doesn't automatically means forgiveness. If forgiveness has to come, it will come for your own reasons. And remember, compassion, when you offer compassion to others and when you feel the empathy, just remember it's self care as well. Self care, because what you're doing is you are creating a better environment for yourself. And compassion is also about empowerment. You are offering compassion or feeling compassion about other people because you want it. You are not being taken advantage of. It's your choice. In fact, when you train yourself into compassion, it's not like you, oh, okay, now I should be compassionate, but it will be a more natural process. And in that sense, it is an empowering feeling. If you really think that by offering compassion to somebody, it would mean you are going to be a doormat, maybe what you're thinking about is you always have to be sweet, you always have to be forgiving, you always have to be condoning. But no, that's not what it is about. You can express your feelings, you can talk about what you want, and yeah, there will be fights, there will be anger, because those are our habits. It takes time to get rid of those habits. However, the way you look at the problem, the way you deal with this person will change. And as a result, the way they respond to you will change too. I'll give you an example of one of my clients who used to have a hard time at work because she did not respect her boss. Her boss, she said, had the educational qualifications. However, she didn't have enough street smartness or enough knowledge of the job. This boss used to always ask my clients, for help or ask questions, and my client used to feel irritated, like, why is she in this position? If she needs to ask me for these kinds of, if he needs clarification for me, or if she has to always ask me, then why is she the boss? And my client, in fact, felt like maybe that she should have been in that position, that she wasn't given that opportunity because of not having the proper educational qualifications, although her work experience was better. So my client was, in fact, thinking of quitting the job. But during this mindfulness meditation and loving kindness, compassion, something clicked. And in fact, she was absent for a couple of weeks. When she came back, she said something clicked at work. She decided that whenever it came to dealing with her boss, she wasn't going to resist. She wasn't going to be this irritated, creating obstacles type of a person. She was going to answer the question and she was going to help the boss just because she felt some amount of understanding or compassion or something like that. That's what she said. My client said she felt more friendly. And so she decided she was not going to resist the questions from the boss. Whenever the boss asked for help, she was going to do it. And this changed the whole thing from her. She said she was feeling so much better at work. She didn't feel like a doormat. In fact, she was empowered. The third question that's typically asked, it's not about close relationships or working relationships. It's about, what if someone does something wrong to me? For example, if somebody hurts my child, I'm not going to have compassion. It, I would like them to get punished. I would like them to go to jail or do whatever. I will not have compassion. Or sometimes there are things in the world that you hear about. How can you have compassion for certain kinds of people? World problems, world, certain countries or political situations, all these kinds of things. How can I have compassion for that? So my answer to that is this. Some of these things are tricky. There is no easy answer to, is it okay to have compassion, or should I have compassion for people who torture others, or people who do bad things to others and they have no guilt, no remorse? Should I still have compassion for them? Now remember, first of all, compassion is a wish that their pain be reduced. It doesn't mean we are condoning it. It doesn't mean that we are not doing anything about it. In fact, when there is a problem and if you want to work on it, there are two ways of going about it. Because you have anger, and then you will have one approach. But the same thing can be dealt with because you have passion, which could come because of understanding. The passion and anger doesn't have to go together always. On that level, think about it. If there is something you want to do about the situation, it's okay to do something about the situation. In fact, it would be essential to do something about the situation. You just won't approach it with anger revenge and these kinds of things. That creates a better community. And it's also about self-care. So if you have any other question about compassion or whatever I have said, please write to me and I'll answer back. Email me to meditatetogether@gmail.com. Looks like there is a comment here, so let me attend to that comment before we get into our loving compassionate meditation. Enrique is saying, thank you for the discussion. I like the second example. It's difficult for me to feel compassion at work for someone who's not honest in dealing with others. I've been able to become indifferent, but it's hard to feel compassion. Um, Again, Enrique, I just 1 second, okay, let me get rid of this bottom, makes it easier. Okay, so again, I want to reiterate the definition of compassion is deep awareness of other person's feelings. It doesn't mean condoning, doesn't mean forgiving. It just means deep awareness. And it's something to ponder over. It's not going to happen right away, especially if you know that the other person, whatever, has been dishonest or has been hurtful, has been playing games, has done some harm to you. Yes, it is going to hard to understand where they are coming from. I agree with you. It's a process, it's something to ponder over. If you have that mindset, then the way you deal with this situation will change. If you don't have the anger, you don't have the same kind of agitation, it will be better for you to handle the situation at work. Indifference in itself, I think, is a big step because that makes it possible to go to work every day and to deal with these people. And whatever you want to do about these people for being dishonest or have harmed you, I don't see any problem with that, as long as I said, it's not coming out of revenge, because revenge can be an angering and harmful feeling in itself. It doesn't work in the end. So think about it. Think about how you want to use compassion to deal with this situation. And if you keep doing loving kindness, compassion meditation, something changes. Something in us changes. And the same kind of anger you don't feel. For example, I'll give you my own example. My website, you know that I have the app and I have already downloaded it. I have already put it in the stores. Now, what I really wanted to do is to have the website and the app ready at the same time. Because some people would prefer using a laptop to do the meditations that I'm talking about, or to create their own groups, which is something you can do by using my app. It's easier for people to use their laptop. Now, a website, I wanted it to be ready, but believe me, it has been a nightmarish experience. For whatever reason, I think I came across very incompetent programmer and I sat next to them. I tried to work with them, but it didn't work. But when I was sick, but a lot of people advised me, like, you have to get mad with them, you have to scold them, you have to be really tough with them. But I was thinking, there's something I understood about their problem. They were not being bad. They were not being just couldn't care less. There was incompetence. And if I had really been tough, it would have even taken them longer. It would have been even more stressful for them. So there was something about the way I dealt with this situation that was different than what people were suggesting. In the end, I did have to make a choice and I did change the team. And as a result, it's going to take me longer to launch my website. However, the fact that I took care of situation in a different way made it better for me. And I still have okay relationship with my ex team. I think that says something about building a community. Okay, so now that with that, we have already spent a lot of time and we are going to get to our meditation. loving kindness compassion meditation. Today is going to be a slightly different one, so pay attention. Close your eyes. Relax your shoulders and keep your spinal cord straight. And take a few deep breaths. Pay attention to your breath for a little bit. Bring yourself in this place here and now to the center by paying attention to how your body is receiving the breath. And now, in front of your mind's eye, bring an image of an acquaintance. You have neutral feelings towards this person. You don't know them that well. Bring the image in front of your eyes. And say in your own mind to them, may you be happy. May you experience peace. May you be at ease. I send my loving kindness, compassion to you. Just a deep awareness that there are times when you probably go through pain, discomfort, a deep awareness of that, what that is, and a sincere wish that it becomes less. And now, in front of your mind's eyes, bring the image of someone who you care about, appreciate, or admire. And say to them in your mind, may you be happy. May you experience peace. May you be at ease. I send you my loving kindness, compassion, a deep awareness that from some time to time you may go through pain and discomfort, but a sincere wish that it be reduced, it be alleviated. I send you my loving kindness, compassion. And now, in front of your mind's eyes, bring an image of someone who's been difficult in your life, unpleasant. Bring their image in front of your mind's eye. And say to yourself, say to them, to these people, may you be happy. May you experience peace. May you be at ease. I send my loving kindness, compassion to you. There are times when I'm sure you go through pain and suffering, and that pain and suffering, I deeply understand. I'm deeply aware of it because we all go through it. We are all in the same boat from time to time. But I sincerely wish that that pain and suffering be reduced, and in the right way. In the right way. And now, in front of your mind's eyes, bring your own image. And say to yourself, to your own image, may you be happy. May you experience peace. And may you be at ease. I send you my loving kindness, compassion. A sincere wish that your pain and suffering be reduced. Whatever mistakes you have made, I accept those mistakes. I understand those mistakes. And I send my compassion and a wish of forgiveness and peace to you. And with that, come back to your breath again. Breathe in and breathe out and pay attention to the breath. And say the line to yourself. Breathe in, I smile. Breathe out, I'm okay. Breathe in, I smile. Breathe out, I'm okay. Breathe in, I smile. Breathe out, I'm okay. Now, if you noticed, I had added one thing to a loving kindness meditation, which is the people who are difficult and unpleasant in your life. See if you can send them loving kindness, compassion, and the positive messages of happiness and peace. Now, that's not easy. However, I added it, and if you notice that with a little modification, I said, may you experience peace, and I send you my loving kindness, compassion, and I wish your pain and suffering be reduced in the right way. So, what I said was in the right way, and that's the trick to sending loving kindness, compassion, or understanding the pain of people who have been unpleasant to you. When you wish that their pain be reduced in the right way, what you are hoping or what you're sending is, don't be dishonest, don't play games, don't harm others. And I hope whatever ways in which your pain is reduced, whatever pain you're experiencing, it gets reduced by you doing the right thing and not by doing the things that you have been doing. It's harmful to you and to others too. So, if you experience peace in the right way, you will not be doing these things. So, I think that is one way, and in my view, the right way to send loving kindness, compassion to people who have been difficult to you. And now we are running out of time, and I don't know if you have any questions for me, and if you don't, then I do want to address a couple of other things. Someone did ask me one question, which I don't think I addressed completely, which is they feel a lot of compassion, they do want to help, but sometimes it doesn't change the situation, or sometimes it seems like whatever ways in which they were helping, it hasn't helped as much as what they would want. And that feels like a failure. They feel really bad and sad. Now, when you feel like a failure because whatever help you did not change the situation, I would urge you to look at, are you making it about you? Or are you imposing help on whatever the situation is? Because it's when you feel like a failure, uh, just think about it. It's not really about you, it's about helping the other people. When the right time comes, then whatever help you have given to them, that help will manifest itself. Change doesn't, you can't see, you sometimes don't see the change, or whatever you're doing doesn't reflect into a big positive change every moment. It also has to be the right time. So wait for the right time. If you're craving that the change has to happen now, or the people must get help now, you're making it about you. And one of the things we want to do with mindfulness meditation is to not crave, but only to observe feelings without reacting. And some people also wonder, just by sending loving kindness, compassion, what's the use? We are not able to always help. We have our own limitations. But by sending loving kindness, compassion, we are creating a certain way of looking at things. And in some cases, you will help too. And then that's the wonderful thing. Now I have just 1 minute left. Meanwhile, let me see what Enrique is asking me. Uh, okay, so he did relate to my answer to the people at work where the situation or they are difficult people. Again, Enrique, I wonder how it would be to think about reducing their pain, wishing for reduction of their pain in the right way. And with that, I'm going to stop now, and I'll see you all tomorrow.